doing the daily grind today, except for I'm not grinding, I'm doing rock. Got the daily rock haul today. All 3 trucks rolling. One of the trucks is working for the quarry, and me and another are working for Sound Earthworks, one of my favorite companies to work for. What's up, Blake? What's up, big money? I got all 3 rolling today. What's up, Kyle? How's things going with Silver Street? What's up, the Home and Auto? How you doing? So we got a problem with the International, the lights. Ugh, I hate wiring problems, guys. You quit? Did you buy your own truck yet, or have you decided what you're doing? You ain't got nothing, 3 days, pouring rain. Dang. That sucks. It's so funny, the International. I get it to the yard, all the lights work. As soon as he leaves the yard, the driver's side brake lights don't work. Ah! It's so frustrating. Like, I was looking at everything yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, it was Sunday when I looked at it. I pulled the light out, I inspected the plug, inspected all the wires really close to it. Also inspected the wires going into the tailgate. Everything looked great. Everything looked great. As soon as he goes to work, freaking lights stop working. Man, that's so frustrating. Those are the types of issues that just make you want to strangle somebody, because you can never diagnose it. Like, the best way to diagnose it is to jiggle wire. Some guy's looking at the back, so you gotta have 2 people for that. Because you can't just jiggle a wire and then run to the back and look, and then go back. It never works like that. It will never stop working. As soon as you run to the back, it'll never stop working. South Sound Site Work. That's a nice looking truck. Interesting tarp arms though. They're like really bent. No, I don't have any open trucks right now, Kyle. Sorry, man. All my trucks already have drivers. Plus, I know you don't want to drive all the way to Shelton and then drive all the way to Washington Rock. Especially where you live, because I know you live further up north. Put him in the old Pete. No, he wouldn't like the old Pete. He wouldn't like it. Plus, I need to make some money too. That's the biggest money maker in this business is me. I hate to say it. My drivers don't make me as much money as I make myself. First night shift driver right there. Yeah. No, night shift hasn't really picked up. I haven't really got any. I worked 1 night shift this year so far, and that's it. Like, I've been talking to everybody else, and night shift hasn't really popped off yet. There's a quote, I read it on my buddy's Facebook. No, I didn't read it on his Facebook. He texted me this. He said, this is what I told my son. He said, when you bought your first truck, you don't own a business. You bought yourself a good job. you're sleeping and making money, that's when you own a business. That's when you own a business. When you're sleeping and making money. Oh man. It's a good day today. The weather is kind of sprinkly, rainy. I wish it wasn't so sprinkly and rainy, but it is. Keeps the dust down, at least. So, what do you... So you've been off, huh? You've been off for a while, Blake. Dang. Yeah, I think the season's really starting to pop off right now. This is the second day in a row that this truck's worked, and I called it. Every May is when it starts to really take off for this truck. May is like you work most of the month. June you work all month, July all month, August all month, September all month, and then October, November are kind of hit and miss. They're kind of like May and April, you know. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. But for me, May is always when it seems to really start to pick up. May the 4th be with you. Yeah. You're up dropping off invoices. There you go. I actually don't mail invoices, Blake. I don't mail them. I don't drop them off. I just email them. One time I mailed an invoice, just once. That's because the guy didn't have an email. And I was like blown. I was like, you don't have an email? Like, how are you in business if you don't even have an email? But he had been in business for, I guess, a long time. And he's just one of those old timers. Everything's on paper. You know? Blew my mind, though. I was like, man, I would hate life if I didn't have an email. You know? It's so easy to just click send a statement, send. I don't have to write anything. I don't have to print anything. I don't have to put stamps on anything. I don't need to go to the mailbox for anything except to collect my checks. And I'm trying to get away from that too. I'm trying to get more towards where it's just bank transfer. They just transfer it, bank transfer. That's what I'm trying to do, but they haven't done that yet. Oh yeah. Well, the good thing is, Blake, is if you're constantly working for them, you see them every week, and you're like, hey, you got that check? Got that check that's coming up due? They always get that reminder. Every time you drop off a new invoice, you're like, hey, I know that check's coming up. You guys print that out yet? I got, right now, Blake, oh, see, direct deposit. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I like direct deposit. I like that. I get an email, and then like 2 or 3 days later, boom, it's in the account. And you're like, yeah. You know money's coming when you get that email. You're like, oh, yeah. You guys wouldn't believe it. I got 55,000 out in unpaid invoices right now. 55,000. That's pretty good right there. That's pretty good. That's not including today or yesterday. So it's probably closer to 58, 59, almost close to 60,000 out in unpaid invoices. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. That's like you know money's coming soon. And it usually starts to pour in. Even better if they're paid invoices. Yeah, that's definitely a good feeling too. I'm not gonna lie, that's a great feeling when they're paid. That's a great feeling when they're paid. Oh yeah. For me, it seems like at the end of June, that's when all the money really starts to pour in. It seems like for me, in my experience in Washington, at the end of the month in June, that's when checks really start to hit the bank. That's when the companies are like, okay, summer's here, we can start paying these, faster. In the wintertime, they like to drag stuff out in Washington. They just drag it out. 35, 45 days, 55 days. I hate it, but they do it. Can't do anything about it. The people that really drag you out, though, don't work for those people. If they drag you out more than 45 days, do not work for them. Do not work for them. I do not work for people that try and drag me out longer than that. It's like, whoa, no. I am not your piggy bank. So, it's a cool day today for me because I'm literally working like 2 miles away from the house I grew up in most of my life. And I'm putting down the gravel because they're getting ready to pave a neighborhood, like a cul-de-sac. So this next load, I gotta find out if I'm getting out, if I'm spreading, or if I'm just dumping the load. The last load, I had to spread it on the road. I had to spread it like 3-4 inches thick. Put my 4-way flashers on. Nobody behind me. Drop up. I'm probably backing in. He didn't even spread that yet. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna back in and get off the street. Take you guys out. Park right here. Okay. Gotta wait and see what they want me to do. The app glitched out. I had to cancel out of the app, go back into the YouTube app, restart it. YouTube, the app is so crappy for streaming live streams. Okay, you want me to spread it? Okay. You hear that, guys? Spread it just like I did last time. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure the brake is off. Lift her up. kind of put her in gear, let off the clutch, pop the gate. There we go. 3-4 inches thick. We're going. Lift it up. Lift it all the way up. Run it till it's out. There we go. Look at that spread. Dang, I'm good. I love the look of that right there. Sideways so you guys can see. Boom, look at that spread job there. That is perfect. That is perfect, guys. You see my buddy? He's got the, look at that sweatshirt he's got on. He's rocking the swag today. There goes Chad. Chad's rocking the swag today. Box down, PTO, check the tailgate. Always do that every time you leave a job. Don't even hesitate. Just check. PTO's off, box is down, tailgate launched. That's how we do it, folks. Man, that was a nice spread. They ain't gonna even have to work. I don't even know why they have operators when they're dump truckers that get spread rock like that. You don't even need operators. Just have the dump truckers do it all. Just teasing. Just teasing. I mess up every once in a while. There have been times where I go to grab the gear and I forgot the parking brake was on, stalled the truck. This happened like my second time I ever went to go spread gravel. I'd never spread it before, so I was like super nervous. Put it in gear, pop the tailgate, let the clutch out, boom! It stalled it. And it was just dumping because I already popped the tailgate. I'm like, what the heck? Started it, took off. I realized that the parking brake was on, but I left a pile that was probably 3 feet tall. It was probably 3 or 4 feet tall. It was pretty bad. But the guy wasn't, luckily the guy had a machine on site, so it wasn't, you know, he's like, oh, that's perfect. But to me, I was like, I wasn't trying to do that, you know. But those are the good days that you always remember. This is the elementary school I grew up going to. Camas Prairie. From 8 years and older, that's where I went to school. 8 years. I went to Camas Prairie Elementary, then I went to Cedar Crest, and then I went to Bethel High School. Crazy. This is crazy. Oh, that gate is indestructible, Sydney. That gate is indestructible. It's funny because, funny you mentioned that because I was hanging out with my neighbor and I got introduced to one of my other neighbors and he was like, you got the dump truck with that big massive tailgate, don't you? And I'm like, well, what color is it? Because I'm thinking like every tailgate's the same. He was like, I don't know, it looks kind of gray right now. And I'm like, yeah, that could be mine. I showed him the picture. He's like, yeah, that's the one. That tailgate looks indestructible. The guy didn't even know it. That's what he recognized the dump truck for. He's like, that tailgate is massive. One day I'm going to have that thing painted. I'll put my VANDUYN on it again. That way everybody knows. But that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. We'll see what happens. I'm hauling 5/8 minus today, Morgan. What you hauling? What you hauling in the transfer? Minus is basically a crushed rock. It's like fractured. It's what they use. It's what they use for the road base. It's the top course. They call it top course. Love to have a low boy like that. Those things are so cool. They make some good money too. Woo! That truck is loud. That had a cat in it. Whoa. You can just tell that thing was loud. I thought my truck was loud. That thing is loud. You know it's loud when you can hear their truck over your Detroit. That's how you know it's loud. It's crazy to be driving in this neighborhood. Oh, dang, they demolished that house. Holy smokes. It's crazy to be driving in this neighborhood. Like, I grew up in this neighborhood. I've watched everything evolve. So crazy. That housing development I just passed, they've been working on that. That was under development like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, maybe even longer than that. But like when the recession hit in 2008, like they just stopped. It was like dead. And I was just like, man, what happened to that? And now they're finally getting back to building houses there. It's crazy. Crazy how that recession just stops all the work. It like came to a complete stop. You know, just a complete stop. That's one of the reasons why I'm so hesitant to go into debt in my business. It's because you never know when the work is gonna stop. You just never know. You know? One of the guys that I consider one of my mentors, Robert, he don't really watch my videos anymore, but he used to watch them at the beginning and he helped me out a lot. Right now he's working for another company. He had his own business at one time, and he said, my business was perfect. I had everything going great. And then I let a whole bunch of people talk me into only buying new trucks and financing them all. And then the work stopped, and then I went bankrupt. That was exactly what he told me. He said, I had 5 trucks, everything was rolling great, and then I got into this group of, you know, business owners, and they're like, yeah, the only way to do it is to buy new trucks. You gotta buy new trucks. And so he sold his old ones, and then he bought new ones, and then the work stopped, and then boom, out of business because he didn't own them. That sucks. And then after that, you know, that really put a big stress on his marriage, he said. So that's why he never really went back into business. He said he would have went back into business, but his wife didn't really want him to. Better to grow slow, own your equipment, it's safer that way. Sure, you don't have all the nice shiny new stuff, you know, but at the end of the day, it's easier to sleep at night. It's easier to sleep at night. Hauling some number 2 sand down in Cali. There There you go. So is number 2 sand, would that be considered like builder sand, like structural sand, or is it utility sand? What kind of sand is it? Do they use it for like backfilling trenches, or what are they using it for? That's one thing I really, after my 2nd and 3rd year, I really started paying attention on these job sites, what materials they use for what. Because I got 2 machines, right? So if I ever did get the opportunity to build a housing development, I would already know what materials need to be brought in. And I could go back and look and say, okay, well, I hauled for this project, and this is how much I charged in trucking, this is how much we charged in materials. I could go back and look from my past experience, and then I could bid a job that way, you know. It looks like I have a bald spot right there. It's actually white hair, guys. I just noticed that. It's actually white hair. Is that crazy? I got all the kids on the school bus looking at the dump truck. Had to honk the horn for them. Bus driver's like, what the hell, man? As I just did a quick little beep beep. That'll make any truck driver's day. Seeing some kid giving them the trucker salute. Beep beep. I always teach my son to do that. Hell no, I ain't polishing wheels after work, Joey. I thought I made that clear. What is going on here? This guy's trying to get out. We'll let him get out. He's got mattresses on the back. There you go. We're hauling out a Corliss Puyallup today. These guys, Corliss is one of the most biggest companies in this area. Corliss. I think that's such a cool name too, Corliss. It's like coral reef or something. It just sounds cool to me. Tim Corliss. I think he was the dad, and then his sons ran the business for him. But I think the main guy who started the business, Tim, I think he's dead now. I'm pretty sure he started out with one dump truck. Dirt projects, the paint from sun damage. What's up, DK Pro? What's up, JR? How you doing, man? How's that long haul truck working out for you? That guy blew that light. Oh, man. Oh, that's alright. Let's go get ahead of this guy. He knew what was going to happen anyways. He's in a truck and trailer. He's got the big demo box on. He knew I was going to blow his doors off and get in front of him. He didn't even try. Waiting for your MC to go active. Yeah, number 2 being packed in around electrical installs for new housing. Oh yeah, that's like the utility sand, what they call it here. by 5th gear, I'm really blowing that guy's doors off. Once I hit 5th gear, he got lost in the dust. Yeah, they call that utility sand here, the number 2. Builder sand is a little bit different. It's more compactable. That sand just kind of fills in. So we are almost to the quarry. You guys get to experience the... There was one more piece of etiquette I was going to tell you guys about, but I forgot what it was. About when you're going in and out of quarries. I forgot what it was. Maybe I'll remember one of these days and I'll remind you. Somebody will remind me. Oh yeah, I remember.
Alex, I got
one of the things you don't want to do is, like, in the summertime, it's okay to go a little fast in the quarry, but slow the heck down when you're going past the scale. Do not dust the scale house. That's one of the big ones right there. You can go a little bit faster once you get out into the quarry side of things. But once you get back to the office side, slow down. They really appreciate that. Number 1, the noise. They're on the phones. And sometimes it's hot and they don't have AC, so they got the doors wide open. And, you know, the water trucks, they just can't keep up with keeping the dust down sometimes. Especially depending on the quarry. You know, some quarries are just massive and they just can't keep up. This wheel wash in this quarry is nuts. It is the craziest wheel wash I've ever seen in my life. VANDUYN coming in for another load of 5/8 minus. If there was a truck going across the wheel wash, I would show you guys, but there isn't. The wheel wash is just absolutely insane. I'll show you guys when I'm coming back across it. It like shoots water like 20 feet into the air, like straight up. Like you literally cannot see through the windshield. It's scary. You're like, oh, please tell me I'm in line with the scale. I don't want to drive off the scale, you know, or drive on the bumper. Heading under the belt, inbound. This is not a rock quarry or rock pit that I've been into a lot of times. So I always just err on the side of caution and go a little bit slower, you know, and really try and be courteous to the loaders and the operators and all the other trucks. And Corliss is a very big, busy pit. They got a big pit. Check this out. This is so cool. This is the wash plant. Part of the wash plant. Sorry guys, that is so annoying. Every time I change the camera angle, he wants me to turn around before it's loaded. I'm cool with that. I'd rather be turned around anyways. Every time I switch the camera angle, the app freezes. It's so annoying. Okay. We're gonna pull right up to this loader. it's always a good idea to look at the loader.
Alex, I got a special one for you.
Once you've loaded your truck enough times, you know where to stop. But it's always
100 pounds of pea gravel in the back of a pickup truck. You hand him a shovel? That's right. Can you load me? I get him.
Do you hear that?
Yes,
You know, it's 100 pounds.
Got the big loaders out there, though.
Give him a shovel. Oh my goodness. That is
People's
funny.
kids.
100 pounds and he wouldn't load it with a shovel? Oh my goodness. Wow. That's probably only like 5 scoops with the shovel. That's one of those instances you just get the full load, just dump the whole load in his bed. Oh, sorry, equipment malfunction.
Come on through, fellas.
That's another thing I always like to do. Look at the operator, give him the thumbs up, you know. After you get loaded, give him the thumbs up. Let me see if I can show you the wash plan again. There it is. This is also making 1.25 inches minus right there. That screener. That's 1.25 inches minus right there. And then you got the clean rocks that it's making. It's making clean. There's your pea gravel. You know it's a wash plant because it uses water to wash the rocks. Like right here you can see the rocks are wet. Coming up the hill.
I'm not gonna back up.
That guy, he's in a
You gotta be
Toyota.
calling out under the belt and what you need.
Okay, watch this, guys. I gotta roll the windows up completely and turn the windshield wiper on full speed.
Okay.
Because this, make sure you're lined up perfectly when you go over this thing. Yeah, look at that.
You all up.
If you don't have that windshield thing on full speed, you will crash into something. You will crash into something.
Good way not to get loaded.
VANDUYN 001 coming on with 5/8 minus for Sound Earthworks 593.
I wouldn't worry about it until he figures out that we're not mind readers.
Alright, I gotta go get my paperwork, guys. You can listen to the... Yeah, it's a truck wash.
I'm not gonna back up.
One thing I will say, it's very convenient and very thought out of Corliss to put that... Oh yeah, sorry, let's turn this off. You guys hear that windshield wiper? I still got water draining down the windshield, even after going in. That noise is annoying as heck though. I think it's very interesting that they put the wheel wash so close to the scale. Almost like they know that they're gonna sell you some water. Like, let's just drench his truck so it weighs 200 pounds more with water, and then he'll immediately get on the scale, and then we just sold him the water. That way they're paying for the wheel wash. At least in my head, that's what I'm thinking. But also at the same time, it is nice to have the wheel wash before the scale, because then you don't get all that dirt and mud and all the caked up buildup dropping onto the scale. Normally it's washed off before the scale. So there is that. I know a lot of scales, you ride up to them and, you know, they are just completely covered in. See, this is
Pickup load 5/8.
one of the things I don't like about this quarry is usually as soon as you pull out, you got to get, you're basically pulling out onto a freeway, and then you got to cross a lane of traffic so you can get to the turn lane in time, you know, depending on where you're going. It seems like every time I'm pulling out the quarry, I got to get in this left lane, and it's kind of a pain. So shifting going up hills, I don't have enough speed to shift right now. You gotta wait until you can hear that RPM really start to take off. That's when you know you can shift. And right about there, I could shift if I wanted to with the lights red, so no point in shifting. Can't wait till I get a truck. Been watching. Yeah, Larry. It's fun, man. I love owning my own dump truck, you know. It definitely has its ups and its downs. Man, this beard is so itchy right here. Keep them down. Don't be scared. Keep what down? Just hauling them hot rocks today. I do 1 speed in the plants and quarries, and that's slow. Yeah, that's a good speed. JR, if you're still watching, what made you decide on getting that Mack? That long haul truck, the Mack. Hey, does your wife have a CDL? If so, are you guys going to be doing some team driving? That'd be cool. If my wife would get her CDL, I would totally do some team driving. That'd be so cool. Light just turned. It's starting to rain today, but man, it's still hot in here. I gotta have my window down. Yeah, the AC, meaning the windows, yes, they roll down just fine. My windows roll down just fine. The AC in the International does not work currently. We just bought a AC compressor, and this coming weekend we're supposed to be getting it charged up. Wife doesn't have a CDL, okay. 10-4. Yeah, my wife doesn't either. I've tried and tried and tried to convince her, like, babe, you know how much money we could save if you got your CDL? Like, you can drive the truck one day, I can stay home with the kids. I can drive one day, you can stay home with the kids. Like, if I'm, you know, working and one of the drivers calls in sick and you could just hop in the truck, you know, she won't do it. She's too afraid of driving the big vehicles, which, you know, I don't blame her, you know. It's something new. You got to get used to it. You got to learn it. I live right close to an Amazon, and freight is crazy in the southeast. So just going to try it out this winter and weekend. Jump on the load boards. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea, JNR. That's a good idea because, you know, in the wintertime, obviously, you know, the solos don't work that much. So, you know, hop in your long haul and get it done, you know. And then once you get it done enough and you got it, you know, where you got your customers worked out just right, or you got the load boards down, then you can hire somebody to put it in one of the trucks if you wanted to, you know. It's crazy, man. Once you get one employee and it starts to work amazing, you will want more employees. You will want more. Because it's like, okay, I used to be able to just do one thing at a time, but now I can do 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, and you make the same amount of money basically, but I'm paying somebody else a little bit, you know. It opens up your world, man. Once you get an employee, then you start thinking, well, why would I do that when I could get paid to have somebody else do it? Workers' comp, yeah. I'm pretty sure I pay into workers' comp. I'm pretty sure I just sent a check for $1,600 to workers' comp. There's so many things. That is the one downside to having employees. Windows going through the wash. The one thing about hiring employees is there's definitely a lot more paperwork, a lot more taxes, a lot more, you know, figuring stuff out. But once you figure it out, then it's like, yeah. Except for payroll tax. That payroll tax is a ripoff. Payroll tax, I don't even know how the government gets away with that. It's stealing from small businesses, honestly, in my opinion. I don't think you should have to pay payroll tax until you get, you know, like 50 employees or something. When you got 2 drivers, you should not be paying $1,000 a month, you know, every other paycheck or every paycheck. That's a ripoff. I think I pay like almost $2,000 every 2 weeks just in payroll tax. That's just the tax that the government takes from me because I'm paying somebody. Exactly. I stole that tractor sheep from a guy retiring, and he said he will give me his customers 50K miles on an $18,000 in frame. How much did you pay for the tractor, JR, if you don't mind me asking? I'm not too big into like flatbedding or long haul or anything like that. Mainly because a lot of times you depend on those load boards, and you just got to be looking at the right time to find a good load. raining in Washington. It is always raining or sprinkling. It's not like full-on rain, but it's always like drizzling a little bit, you know? Enough to where it is annoying a lot of times. You're like, man, seriously, it's raining right now? Like, even when it's sunny out, sometimes the rain just comes from nowhere. You're like, where's the clouds? I don't see any clouds, but it's raining. Like, that's happened before. And that's a massive warehouse complex they just built right there. I've been watching that going for the past 10 years. D1 at 32, I got it for 24.5. Gonna stay regional, Carolina, GA, Florida, Tennessee. That's a good price. 25,000 basically. That sounds like a good price, especially with the in-frame just done. Especially if he has paperwork on it. If he didn't have paperwork, I'd be a little more questionable. What's crazy is how many businesses like actually just shut down during the whole pandemic thing. Some of those businesses will never open again. The government basically killed them. They said, oh, you can't open up, you're killed, you're done, we're putting you out of business, we don't like you don't pay enough. That was one of the ways that the government found out which businesses were essential and which businesses were non-essential. And then they took and said, okay, all the non-essential ones, we're going to punish them. We're going to punish them. And we're going to make them go out of business, you know. And then the people that were like, yeah, screw this, I'm working no matter what. All the people like that, like, I kind of fit myself into that group because I worked through the whole pandemic. We never slowed down once. Because I was installing that fiber optics, and that was considered essential, you know. And, yeah, they did, Larry. They really... I cannot understand why people let the government have that much power. It's sickening. If the government can tell you to close your business whenever they want, you're not free. You are not free if the government can just make up some, you know, I didn't see dead bodies lying in the street. They just made it up. You know, maybe it is real, but it's not as bad as they say it, you know. So they can just make up whatever they want and shut you down. That's how strong the government is right now. That is scary. When the government can tell you to close your business, and if you don't do it, then they show up with guns, that is not cool. $2.50. Brian VANDUYN Grind. Good day to you, sir. Thank you. I mean, I know a few restaurant owners, like, who can close down their business for a year, not make any money, and then continue to pay their mortgage, continue to pay their employees, continue to pay and all these other things, and then still be in business. Like, The only way to do that is to go in debt. You know, a lot of people don't have that kind of money where they just got lying around like, oh yeah, I'll close my business down for a year. Who cares? You know, man, that sucks for a lot of people. Like, I think that damage is worse than what happened with, you know, some people dying, you know. If anybody did die, I don't know anybody who even got sick, really. So, to me, it's all, seems all made up, because I don't know anybody who died. So, what's your summers like? Much the same? They're very busy summers. My summers are jam-packed with work, 5-6 days a week working, sometimes multiple shifts, day shift, night shift, just depends. Sunny and 75. Summers, I won't, so for the weather for summers in Washington are usually 70, 80, 90 degrees. Like, there's always 1 week where it gets above 100 for like 2 or 3 days, and that's it. The rain normally dries up for, I would say it still rains June. July is when it starts to really stop raining. July, August, and then it kind of starts back up in September. Oh yeah, man. I can't imagine what the people are going through in California, because they're still shut down. They're still like choking them out. Man, yeah, I could not do that temperature, Morgan. I'd be dead. As soon as it gets above 85, 80 degrees, I'm uncomfortable. I start getting, you know, like, oh, I hate this. I can't take enough clothes off, you know? Yeah, you could use some of the rain. Dude, some of those forest fires, I just watched a video the other day about, what was it called? The Good Guys or something like that. It was about Granite Falls, hot shot or something. It was like, basically like, the guys that fight forest fires. Man, that was a good movie. I liked it. I really liked that movie. Watched 1 million acres burn out your front window. Dang. Yeah, that sucks. Alright, Chad, what do you want me to do, brother? Yeah, see, look at that. He barely even has to touch that pile with the dozer. That's how you know you did a perfect spread right there. Barely touching it. That's how you know. The operator didn't even have to work. I did the whole spread for him. We're gonna just back off of the road that way. Okay, I'm just gonna park right here. Take you guys over there. Go say hi to Chad, see what he says. What's up, Chad? You want to say hi on YouTube? Huh? You want to say hi on YouTube? Yeah. This is Chad right here. What's up, everybody? He was about to do the hot shot thing, and then he changed his mind.
Changed my mind, back to operate.
Yep. But now he's got a sweet. Look at this. Look at that car. Man, that thing is sweet looking.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So what am I doing?
Can you dump it just over there somewhere? You can go right next to my truck.
Okay.
Kind of on that.
On that side.
Yeah, or even on this side, whatever's easier for you.
Okay.
Maybe you see that rock right there?
The big one.
Yeah, right in the middle of all the
mud
rock.
Yep.
Yeah, you can just dump it right there if you want.
Okay. And then am I getting another one or? Okay.
I don't think so. I'll ask him and I'll come over once you're...
Okay. Looks like that's the last load, folks. That's what I'm talking about. This is the main thing. When you're doing stuff like this, you gotta keep a level head, because if you forget these chains, that would suck. And you're trying to dump a load, that would suck. Always remember to take those chains off, especially at the end of the day. Next day you're hauling concrete or something, or asphalt. That's the situation you don't want to be in. When you go to dump your load full of concrete and your chains are on. Ugh. Yeah, I made that mistake before. I will admit it. I made that mistake before. That is one of the worst mistakes you can make. Especially if you're hauling big, chunky concrete. Next one. Sorry about that, guys. So, just got myself signed out with my 6-hour minimum. Just got off the phone with the customer. Looks like my truck's booked for Thursday and Friday. What's today? Tuesday? Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. We're booked for Thursday and Friday. That means Wednesday. Wednesday's the only day I don't have anything booked yet, so we'll see what happens for tomorrow. And it's still really early in the day, so guess what? I get to swing over by my grandpa's house, hang out with grandpa until a few hours down the road. Then I can go load up my truck with that last load of brush from my clearing job. And by that time, Brandon will be getting done from Washington Rock. He can meet me over there. Boom, I can fill him up. We both get filled. He can grab the trailer. Boom, done. That's what I'm talking about right there. That worked out perfect. TWE. I know this is Tech Weld. This guy makes some cool stuff. Got a nice little shop in there. Dump truck too. What's going on? Come on, mailman. And this guy goes like 2 miles an hour when he could have just... how I know I'll be in trouble or not. If he does the whoop whoop and follows me, that's how you know you're in trouble. When the cop follows you down a road that you know they ain't heading that way. Oh, never mind. He wasn't directly behind me. He was behind the pickup behind me. And he just kept going, so we're good. Gotta love the police, man. They do a thankless job. They do a thankless job. And nowadays, their job is incredibly hard. And they do one thing wrong, and next thing you know, they're famous and they're losing their job, and then they'll never have a job again. That's the world we live in. You know, trying to be a hero every other day, and then you mess up one time, and you get stoned to death. That's all it takes. You make the wrong move one time, you get stoned to death. You're at Grandpa's house. Alright guys. There's the house I grew up in, right there. You can't really see it, lots of trees everywhere. I remember when they first built this whole housing development right there. That used to be a big field. There's a pond down there. All these houses, I lived here before all these houses were here. What's up, Blake? I'm at Grandpa's house. The neighbor's probably ticked. Shut that truck off! There was one time I was doing an oil change on my truck with my grandpa here, and the guy came out and was swearing at us. Swearing at my grandpa, and I told him, you don't ever talk to my grandpa like that. And he started swearing at me. He hopped over the fence like he was gonna fight me, and I pulled my gun on him. And he went and called the police like a little wussy. And guess what the police told him? You just almost got shot, and it would have been your fault. What's up, Grandpa? I didn't wake you up, did I? I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, I'm trying to do some inventing and creating, and what brings you up here? A load of wood?
No, I'm done for the day.
Oh, okay.
Well, not done for the day totally, but I'm done for a little bit.
So my question is,
I was delivering rock to a neighborhood they're building right over there.
tomorrow we were considering coming down for Earl Brian's celebration in the evening or whenever you might be free.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you're don't have anything going on.
I don't got anything going on.
No?
I made that horse. That's some of my I got left over at Grandpa's house.
Did you see the bird?
Oh yeah,
The grouse?
yeah, the grouse.
Grouse hides.
Anyways, guys, time to spend some time with Grandpa. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Sorry about that. Did I take priority over them?
Yep.
No.